Hi YouTube, I'm Dr. Wanda. We're on the eve of going into our new year. It's December 31st. And earlier today I did a post on Facebook talking about my land. I have just under 2 acres in Tanzania. Even though I'm living in Ghana and I married a Ghanaian, I have land in Tanzania. It was something that I acquired. It was a gift to myself for my 51st birthday. And during that time, I had not ever come to West Africa. I did not know Isaac Akbosu. I had no particular drive to come west, and I was satisfied doing a lot of my work, my God work, in East. Nonetheless, I did acquire land, and I finally, in the middle of this pandemic, with the encouragement of my friend who is also very much has a huge love for Africa. Her heart has been in Gambia and in Ghana, and so she also was interested in having a home away from home, but she didn't have land east. And so I invited her. I said, hey, listen, I have land. I'm building a roundhouse. You're welcome to join me. I showed her a picture of it, and she loved it. And so we started in this partnership. It has been peaceful. It's been seamless. The construction team haven't given us any headache. We've taken care of it sort of a la carte. We send money as different functions happen. Once that is completed and we get proof that that's done, we move to the next step. I have a very trusted steward that I work with there, Ivo Augustino. He's been the project manager. He's the person I trust with finance, and this thing has just gone beautifully. So I've had a lot of people ask me, how are you living in Ghana, married to a Ghanaian, when you're on the continent, but you're building in Tanzania? And so I wanted to do this post to say that, Africa has 54 sovereign nations. And as much as I love my husband and I have a great respect for Ghana, my heart is in Tanzania. I loved going to Tanzania. The tropical climate, the kindness of the people. They're just a very hospitable people. Africans in general are a very respectful group, whatever nation you go to. But in general, I had a beautiful, beautiful experience with the Tanzanians. So the same thing that I've done for the Ghanaians, I've done for the Tanzanians, with some caveat, because different nations need different things. But it's all been technology, books, counseling, teaching, bringing the best of the best to the groups. And we've developed a great love for one another. But the difference with the Tanzanians was, at some point they told me, they said, Doctor, we don't want you to send us another thing. We want to meet you. We want you to actually come to the island. We want to meet you. And so at that time I told them I was set to go to Uganda. And I said, I can make it to you by bus, with the help of my Ugandan family, who would travel with me from Uganda through Kenya to Tanzania. But I said, I won't have any money. I do everything pretty much on my own, in-kind donations, some fundraising, but I don't have it. And they said, we have to meet you. With this type of love, we have to meet you, and we'll take care of you. So the Tanzanians didn't fall short. I lived up to what I said. I did get the Ugandan, my team, which was a team of one, who spoke English, Luganda, and Swahili, which is the dominant language in Tanzania. And he traveled with me, and we went there, and it was an amazing trip. It was well worth it. I would sacrifice it again. It's one of the longest bus rides I've ever had in my life. It ended up being 16 hours because the year we went, the Kenyan government was having elections, and so they rerouted us because they were fearful of fighting. They were fearful of gunfire. They were fearful of bombing because the Kenyans do fight. So that made what was supposed to be 11 hours, 16 hours, and that was a lot. That was a lot. So that was me and Gia and the companions. The Tanzanians didn't fall short. They They had everything in place for me, for everything from picking me up to food to transport to everything. I never opened my purse. They took great care of me. They showed me that they had appreciated every single thing I ever sent them, that they were making good use of them. And so it was very difficult for me to leave them. Now, the Tanzanians, I didn't have that much time with. I had days with, although we were speaking every day and engaging pretty frequently through social media. I went back to Uganda, and I promised them I would return that following year, and I did. I lived up to that promise. So for me, there's a love, an unspeakable love, an unexplainable love. The place I go, and I always pronounce it wrong, so be patient with me, is Irkaway Island. It's pushed way, way back in Tanzania. It's not as well known as Dar es Salaam or Arusha, where the Maasai are. It's not near Zanzibar. It's just way, way back. And so my coming in contact with them was like a meteorite hitting them. And they understood that, and they valued me. So fast forward, now I've come east, and I've done good work I've come west, and I've done good work in West Africa, and and I don't regret anything, and I wouldn't change anything. But the reality is, when you start talking about land west, that conversation gets dicey. I'm not sure if it's because of the year of the return. I'm not sure if it's because there's a lot of tribalism here, and that system with chiefs and sort of like the various council people. I'm not sure if that's what it is. I'm only sure that it's not necessarily the safest turf to navigate. It hasn't been safe for me. So when things don't go smoothly with me, I leave them alone. I leave them alone. I don't push. I was offered land here as family for all the work and effort I had done in my husband's village, Lilonia. And what I was offered was one plot for $1,000. Now it takes 4 plots to make an acre. Okay, now you compare that to Tanzania, where I have just under 2 acres for $450 US. So I respectfully declined, and to their dismay, I declined. They did at some point, with some nudging and conversations, lower it to 200. And the issue with that is, when they did the demarcations, they misspelled my name. So my name is Wanda, W-A-N-D-A. What they put on the demarcations was Wonderful, and my husband's surname. So he explained that it was his mother who made the mistake, and it wasn't the Mason. It doesn't matter. Africa takes its names pretty seriously, okay? And I'm not going to accept any land where my name is misspelled. So I said, well, you all can spell it right and put new demarcations up, or that land will sit there. So I've also encouraged my husband. I said, hey, listen, they've lowered it to 200, which is, you can just do 50 Ghana until you get it, and you get the land, and, I'll partner with you. But I'm not going to be particularly attached to anything that doesn't have the proper names, the proper like markage. It's just nothing safe about that. So that's been a major issue. I mean, here's a woman that built you a library, built your community a library, put lights on your beach, donated books, donated technology to your teachers. Here's a woman that raised money for a biodigestive toilet to be installed, for a roof on one of the schools to be repaired. Here's a woman that left your chief with a walking stick, a cell phone, and a portable toilet. And what you offer her is a plot of land for $1,000 US, instead of having the respect to say, dash her land and see what she can make of it, because I definitely have been a gift giver to the community. So I don't take offense to any of it. Some of these mechanisms have been in place forever. People do things for a reason, but it doesn't mean that I have to go along with it. One of the things I love about God work is that you get to use not only your intellect and empathy and compassion, but you use good discernment. And what I discern is, I am much safer continuing to build my home away from home when I'm on the continent in Tanzania, where things have been seamless and peaceful and smooth. And listen, I haven't by any means given up on the possibilities of owning land in Ghana. I just know that that has to be done on very decent, pure, transparent terms. And sometimes being an American, a lot of times Africans talk in circles. And when they're not talking in circles in some communities, you just get them talking in a lot of scriptures. And that, for me, is deceptive talk. Business is business. Let's get down to business. Let's be straightforward. If you're gifting, you're gifting. If you're not, you're not. But either way it goes, I'm not one of the suckers. I'm not somebody for excited and worried, from the year of the return, and I'm desperate to get land, and it's no land rush for me. Wherever I go, in fact, my brand name is Wanderlands, because wherever I go, it's my intention to do good God work and to bless that community and to help do grassroots work and strengthen it. So I don't necessarily have to own land in Ghana to do good work in Ghana. My husband is a little frustrated by my mindset because he doesn't believe really in the concept of renting. They see that as a waste of money. He's not the only one. That's a pretty standard thought here. But he also doesn't understand. You're talking to someone that has owned a home in the U.S. I own a home. I paid for my home with my pension in the U.S. I own a motor home. So if you've ever had a home and then you go into one of these contracts with people, or you're trying to, and it doesn't feel safe and the terms aren't clear and you don't feel like there's a real love exchange, when someone says, I'm giving you the family rate, that should be clear, straight, pure. And that didn't feel like that for me. So the Tanzanians just took better care of me. So it looked to me like I would be better off building there. We can go back and forth between, Ghana and Tanzania, because I'm still not finished working and serving that community. I love them deeply. But in terms of me actually anchoring, I haven't found a reason yet to anchor, but I also haven't given up the concept of anchoring. Now, my partner, Lexine Phelps, who is the person that began this whole journey with me with groundbreaking in Tanzania. And we also have two other women that I invited, and they also are building their roundhouses on their property. She does have land here and some property in Kumasi. She's made me welcome if I have a vision for it, to see if I'd like to do something, and she got off into some dicey stuff with the Ghanaians here, with her land, and she's not happy. So I'm hoping to go visit that land and see if I have a vision for it. And if I do, I'll come back to, my sister friend and say, hey, why don't we try this? But at this point, and I encourage other people, don't rush to get land. Do be interested and make an effort to visit all parts of Ghana, north, central, east, west, because different parts of the country offer different things: mountain, cool air, the lake, the ocean, salt, where you can harvest more rice, whatever it is that you're interested in. You do need to look at all that, but you don't need to be in a rush. You don't need to be in a rush. And if you feel uncomfortable, follow those instincts. Understand that that people do get cheated. They do get mistreated, that there is a such thing as selling land that's already been sold, that sometimes you never actually own the land. There's some contracts where it's 99 years and it goes back to the African. Like, you really have to put some work in to understand like what you're getting involved in and whether you care or you don't care. Finally, Gia loves Ghana. That's why I'm here. She loves Ghana. It's her type of country. She likes the energy of Ghana. So I still have my heart open for land in Ghana, because it would be something that I could pass on to her, and it would continue that legacy with her. So I never would say never, but my land at this point where I have officially anchored and broke ground is in Tanzania. So we're going into 2021. I am looking for more peace and more progress. And anybody who's looking to come to Africa, I wish you the same.